Hey everybody, welcome to How Do I Know You with your hosts Mark and Dwayne.
What up?
And make sure to follow us and subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please continue to subscribe to us on YouTube and all that good
Subscribe
stuff.
us.
Subscribe us personally.
Just subscribe.
Just
us.
anywhere you see Mark and Dwayne's name, just hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button.
We'll
I hope
be there.
that turns into like some kind of YouTube algorithm, and it's like you just have to put in Mark and Dwayne in your description
We'll
box.
just show up, just put like gifs of us everywhere, clip art of us everywhere. Just flood the internet with us.
That's weird. Don't do that.
Do it. Let's take over. Today's topic is.
Today's topic is shit. Let's just talk about why people suck, because people just seem to suck.
I got one.
People ruin everything.
I got one. The person sucks. Mm-hmm. So this guy at my job, he basically came in.
It's the same dude. He hasn't stopped hating the same dude.
I have not. Basically came in, try to blow shit up, fuck with everyone, spied on everyone, reported blah, 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 talk shit.
Did his
same
job.
Person. Yeah, but then he tries to like be friends with the same people he's talking
That's
shit
what you
on.
have to. It's called a mole. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, he, a while ago, he decided to take on responsibility or whatever, for whatever, all this shit. This dude gets CC'd on the emails that he needs to be on, yet we still have to tell him or print shit out for him so he could do his job. If not, then it just becomes late. Which is like, you cried so fucking much for this fucking responsibility and now you won't do it until someone fucking hands you like a baby.
Yes.
And yeah, he just finds more and more shit to complain about. But never has any details, just likes to cry. But
By
that's
details,
off his life.
do you mean like he never has any like solutions? Or?
Yeah, he's like, well, we're missing this. Okay, can you is there anything we could do about it? Do you have any fucking anything?
We shouldn't be missing it.
No. And then when I start like saying like okay, should we do this? Should we do that? It's just this and it's like, okay, you're gonna keep crying, or we're gonna think of actual fucking solutions. I remember last time, it was a week ago, like something in the program, it just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. And he kept going, he just kept complaining, and I was like, why don't you do that then? Just do that. He just kept complaining about the same thing. I was just like, then fucking do it. Do it yourself. If you know how to do it, then do it.
Right.
Stop complaining to us. No one cares in here.
But see, that's something that people in the office world, that's what gets the most results. Actually, I feel like it's just how shit gets results in general today. Just complain. And then you get a whole bunch of people to either agree with you or a bunch of people to listen to your listen to your bullshit complaining and opinions to the point where they're like, okay, we'll put you in charge because you seem like you have a knack for this. But then at that point, now they have to find a way to finesse themselves into, like you said, making everyone that they just complained about do the work that they can't do because they don't know how to do it.
That's exactly what's happening. He has no idea what to do, so he keeps asking us. I suggested to my boss today, I was like, why don't we just have him do this section of the work? Then he won't have to ask us for details. He'll have the details himself right there because he'll be doing them. Mm-hmm. But no, because he doesn't want to be my boss doesn't want him to be part of our team. And I was like, if he's a part of our team, then you're officially his boss. Then he can't, you're in charge of him.
Not even that. My thing would be if he's a part of our team, then it's so now you'll get blamed when shit still is the same way.
That fucking thing that he took over, I still almost got blamed for it, even though he's the one that cried to take over for it.
Right.
So he could figure everything out and blah, blah, blah. Point is, fucking make sure you get emails. If you work in an office, emails are key. If someone says they did something or whatever, be like, cool, say that in an email, send it to me.
Yeah, now I email everyone at work that I basically just don't fuck with, which is everybody except one person. I can jabber her or text her and that's fine, but everyone else, it's nope, I email you. If I have to ask something or if I need something, you will get an email so that when you go back and lie and say that, I didn't know, or I just remember Dwayne saying, no, Dwayne didn't say shit. It's in the email.
In the email. That's why I hate when people fucking call over the phone and be like, no. Send that shit in an email. Yep. CYA, people. Cover your ass.
Yep.
This dude, fucking. I remember him like directly talking to me, asking me a question. I gave him an answer. He didn't like the answer, but that's the answer. You know, it's how fucking works sometimes. He then goes like to email my boss, a whole bunch of other higher ups, names me in the email, saying I said something, right? Which I didn't say. It was a straight up lie. Which people, again, what I hate too, people go like, oh, maybe you just misunderstood. You was like, no, you didn't fucking misunderstand me. Like I said it point blank.
Right.
But he doesn't include me in the email. Like he doesn't CC me on it. The only way I found out is because my boss was like, look what he said about you.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, my fucking point, man. These people fucking lie on you, and then they're not even man enough to fucking confront you in an email. Not even face to face. The dude's too scared to fucking be an e-thug.
Well, I mean, it's hard to eat thug, right? When you're like you're next door to each other, it's kind of hard to do that.
Fucking asshole,
But
man.
that's the thing about that shit that I just don't like, because at the end of the day, I feel like now so many people just tend to like, going back to why people suck. Everyone thinks very highly of themselves, and it's hard to be somewhere where everyone feels like they're like geniuses, or everyone feels like they do so much but they really don't do anything. And it's
real,
like,
man.
if like you could literally just replace you with nobody and nothing would be like missed. Like,
Probably, man.
and it just sucks. It sucks because you end up in those situations where side note, it's gonna be a very depressing podcast because we're just gonna talk about how much people suck. But you just end up feeling like this whole feeling of every time you walk into your job, like, fuck, I have to be here for 8 hours and tolerate this bullshit, and then I have to somehow come back the next day, and you're just working towards the weekend. That's all you're doing.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a song.
Yeah, no, I was gonna sing it, but I forgot the lyrics. Silver lining with that though, the opposite would be even worse.
I'm fucking his wife.
His ugly, ugly wife.
Hey, man, she didn't do anything to deserve that.
He's part of her, or she's part of him. Man, whatever.
Jeez.
You understood what I'm saying. Anyways, the silver lining with that, like, you know, like work being like this and all shitty and working for the weekend, the opposite would suck even more. Where I think maybe we've said it on the podcast before, maybe it was just a conversation between the two of us. If work is a break from your life, then that would suck even more. That'd be more depressing.
Right.
At least right now, like, work is just like it's work, and then I live my life outside of that.
Right.
I do my things that I want to do. I hang out with the people I want to hang out with. I have friends. I have actual friends, you know, outside of.
When you say
coworkers,
work is a break from your life, do you mean when work is your life? Because a break would be like you just zone out at work, which is what we do.
A break from your life. I mean, like there's so much drama going on in your life, and like a whole bunch of fuck shit, whatever.
That you have to come to work to get away from it?
Yeah, you basically, you know, you have a valid excuse not to deal with some person in your personal life because
you have to go to work.
Yeah, you have to go to work, and I can't text buddy or baby or whatever, you know. But
yeah, it does suck.
That would be worse. Like, as much as I'm complaining about my job and all this stuff, I'd rather it be like this than the opposite.
Yeah, because I've always felt, because a lot of people when they look at jobs and everything like that, they always say like, oh, you know, I don't know if I can do an office job, or I don't want to be like bored, or I don't want to be like blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, when it comes to like real world thinking. Like, of course you want to do shit that hopefully one day you get paid a crap ton of money for, and it feels like it's not work. Like, freaking this stuff and everything that we're doing, right? However, to get there, to finance it, right, you have to do a job and do your job, right? Yeah. So I always look at people when they say, like, man, it seems like boring there, or it seems like, I don't know, I feel like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that is every job everywhere.
Yeah, no matter what.
Where do you go unless you're like I said, like the 1% of the population that goes to work and is just like, oh, I love this place. Like, where do you go where it's like you're so happy to come there every day? I've never seen it, and I've worked at several different places, and I never met one person that's just like, oh my god, I'm so happy to be here, guys. Never.
Yeah.
That's from managers to the lowest person on the fucking totem pole. Like, they've always felt the same way about a job. So that's why I go into it like, how much am I getting paid? Period. How much am I getting paid to tolerate this bullshit? Because I know it's about to be some bullshit.
Yeah.
But if the pay makes me fucking happy, it's not to be able to tolerate this shit, and it's worth my time and my headache, then fuck it. You got to do what you got to do to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
But
It's funny though, like doing stuff like this podcast, it's way more fucking work than my actual office job.
yeah, it is.
But it's just, it's something we want to do, so it's a lot, like, it's easier to do and like
Right.
to get shit done.
Right.
Because this is way more fucking work than I do within a week at my job.
Yeah, and yeah, like I know a lot of you guys probably think it's like, oh, which I mean, all this stuff is fun.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to think about it from our perspective too a little bit. You got to realize that we work, 9 to 5 jobs, then come home and then have to be creative or funny and have to do this shit for the hot takes and the podcast and whatever content idea we come up with. Then we got to think about shit throughout the day regarding this shit. And we got to remember to post shit if we have time to post it.
We have service.
Yeah, or if we have fucking service, which I never have fucking service, so that's out the window.
Why fucking sometimes I forget and I post the hot take like around 11 or 12. I'm like, oh shit. And I just like, I get on my phone.
Wouldn't know anyway. I can't even tell them like, hey, there's no hot take because I can't even get on
man.
Instagram on my job. Like, so it's all this shit, right? And which is funny because like my girl or someone usually texts me like when something's off. She'll be like, where's the question? Or like, why is this? And I'm like, huh? Like,
yeah, I'll just forget. I
don't know.
I
Like,
get to my job and I completely forget. Like, I zone out of all this stuff.
and you have to like do all this stuff just to come home and do more stuff and then go to sleep and do it all over again.
But the thing, I love doing this shit. Like,
Yeah,
the podcast, it makes it like,
Yeah,
I know it sounds like we're complaining, but honestly, it's really fun.
Nah, I'm fucking complaining. Look, no, I'm playing. No, but when you get these, when you get returns and shit, like you guys actually giving a shit about what we say and quoting our stuff or freaking taking the
dope.
time to like listen to it and everything like that, it makes it worth it.
Yeah.
And like
It sounds cliche, but it's fucking true.
right, and a lot of people put stock in the numbers and stuff. I've learned to not do that because it'll just make everything worse. So I always just put stock into the response. The responses we get,
the engagement from people.
the responses we get are always positive. So I don't really look at it like, oh, we're not here. I feel like the cream rises to the top. People who are talented will get their rightful place, like in the spotlight, so to speak, or like, in the sun. It's not a lot of people you'll see, they'll do like a lot of gimmicky shit, or they'll always try to
what's going viral right now?
Yeah, what's trendy and things like that, which is fine because I mean, like, that's not
if that's their style, great,
right?
Pull it off.
You know what I'm saying? If you can pull it off, by all means. But I don't know. I've always taken the old school approach to shit like that. I've always just liked it when someone's like, I'm like this. I will get to where I want to be like this, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to like, because to me, maybe because I'm black or everything like that, I always look at shit like that as kind of like a shuck and jive.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to. I'm just not gonna do that.
A little kind of dance for them.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking, you know what I mean? Like, and like bringing it back to people real fast because I don't have a topic because we're still talking about people, but I find it funny. Right now, there's a report about Mac Miller. If you guys remember, I think Mac Miller was our first episode ever of this podcast. It was Mac Miller and Ariana Grande, right?
Right.
And he was still alive when we did that podcast. I think like 3 weeks later he died, some shit like that. It was crazy. But we started that with with him, right? So it got announced today that the DEA announced an arrest of a Hollywood Hills man in connection to death of rapper Mac Miller. Cameron Petit, I want to say, I'm gonna say Petit. Screw it. Accused of selling Mac Miller counterfeit drugs containing fentanyl 2 days before he died of an overdose of oxycodone, cocaine, and Xanax.
Yo, fentanyl is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They said I think I saw a report saying like a penny-sized drop is enough to kill an elephant.
Yeah, it's like it knocks like fucking beasts down. So if you're taking that, hey, more power to you. And your insides, by the way, because they're deteriorating at a fast rate. So this might be unpopular, but whatever. I'm sick, so I don't care.
Drugs are bad, okay?
But yeah, drugs are bad. Okay. No, here's my thing, right? This is what I hate about people, because people pick and choose what the fuck to care about based off of the dumbest shit ever. Like, and I'm sorry, this might be, like I said, this might be unpopular, and I fuck with Mac Miller and everything like that. I thought he was a dope dude, liked his music and everything, right? But at its, like, just at its simplest form, Mac Miller died because he had a problem with drugs. Period. Like, if it wasn't gonna happen then, when it happened, it was eventually gonna happen, right? Because
Yeah.
he wouldn't deal with his issues. Going back to last episode, right? I'm not gonna say he wouldn't deal with it, but he had a hard time overcoming his issues, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, at a point, when do you look and you know, when do you look and you just say, okay, you got to be responsible for your actions too. You know what I mean? Like, if I go out right now, not jump in my car and I leave it on, right? I mean, no, screw it. I jump in my car, I drive, I come back, I park it, but I leave the lights on, right? And let's say Mark goes in the garage to get something. He sees my lights on, right? Mark can do one of two things. He can, A, if my door's open, turn my lights off for me, right? Or B, he can continue to do what he had to do and then not say anything about the lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I wake up the next day and I see you and I'm like, damn, man, my car won't start. And then you go like, oh, shit, yeah, I saw your lights on, right? In my opinion, I have no right to get mad at you.
Right, but people don't take.
But people don't do that shit, right? They'll fucking flip out and be like, you saw my lights on, you didn't fucking tell me, or you didn't turn them off or anything like that. And it's like,
If people have the chance to blame someone else for something else, they will take it.
exactly, like, and it's bullshit, right? And it's like, but like, I feel like we've been like friends, and like a lot of my friends, we've been friends for so long that it's like you can't do that because we know each other, and
Yeah.
it's like, and you fucked up,
Yeah.
so just take it as you fucked up, and it'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, but you'll get through it. But people like to do this whole like pass the blame around to make themselves not seem like they fucked up, which is crazy. And I'm not saying that he's doing this because he's dead, so he can't do this shit, right? But I feel like in this situation, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it might be unpopular, but honestly, why is this kid going to jail for this? For what?
Well, at the very least, he's selling counterfeit drugs.
Selling drugs, period.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, you know what I mean? It goes,
Counterfeit drugs. Oh my God.
It goes-
Fake drugs, people.
it goes back to my point. It's people. It's bullshit. If Mac Miller was fucking Tyrone Miller, that shit wouldn't. No one would care.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is such bullshit.
I wanna say, the whole reason this is even a story is just because of Mac Miller's involvement.
Right.
Probably that dude would have been arrested anyways. It would have just been like a blip in the fucking news thing.
Right,
without knowing.
but like I said, if he was gonna get arrested, he should get arrested for the same shit that niggas was getting arrested for back during the
okay.
crack era and all that shit, which is like
Right, 'cause-
fucking trafficking, all that bullshit and everything,
Yeah.
all these trumped up charges that they put against you, right? But if they somehow try to charge this nigga with like attempted murder, or in this case murder, or fucking what's it, manslaughter, when he's not,
Right.
you
if
know,
that's the only thing he's getting charged with, it's like, yeah,
that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Like, that's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, if that's the case, then fucking, you know what? Every celebrity who had a drug issue, find the dealer.
Yep, it's their fault.
It's their fault. Like, come on, bro. Like, we gotta stop this shit. This is what I'm talking about with people. The way the world works today isn't like, oh, I have an issue, let me, take care of it and actually put the work in to better myself. The way we work today is point blank, period. I have an issue. I'm not going to deal with that issue at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to either try to find every loophole possible to fix the issue, which is throw money at it, avoid it, pass it on to someone else, up until the point when I know that I can't deal with it anymore. And I'll just either do the bullshit thing, which is A, just accept it and let it overcome me, or B, I'll do the complete opposite, which is blame everybody else.
What do you say to people that say it's a disease, like alcoholism?
I don't want to hear that shit. I just don't want to hear it, man. Like, I don't want to hear it. Cause look, again, if, let's just go with that mindset, right? If you constantly fucking rammed your head into this wall every day, and I said one day, I'm just like, Mark, why do you keep doing that?
Because I'm determined.
Because I'm persistent.
I don't quit, dude.
If I ask you, Mark, why do you keep doing that? And you tell me it's a disease,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you and be like, you just started doing this like 2 days ago. How did this manifest into a disease, right?
See, look, I got this parasite, and it controls my brain, and it wants me to run my head into this wall.
To me, a disease is in its original natural form. It's something that you can't control, and it's something that you don't have basically you weren't. So no, actually, I'm trying to say it the right way without being like a dick, but it's something that you can't control, but also you couldn't foresee happening.
Right.
So, prime example, is cancer considered a disease?
Yeah.
So, cancer, it's like, of course, some people will argue, it's like, no, if you eat certain foods, you can blah, blah, I don't want to hear about that.
Because no one really knows where
Right,
cancer comes from.
no one fucking knows, right? So, it's something that you couldn't control, you couldn't foresee it, you have cancer.
Yeah.
That sucks. However, motherfucker, you drinking too much, all right? I'm pretty sure, or at least I would hope, like, in your lifetime, when you were a child, you weren't drinking, all right? You made a choice at a certain point to drink, and then you made a choice at a certain point to not stop. Then you made a choice at a certain point to go overboard.
Right.
That's all you. The same thing when they try to use this whole, like, again, going back to fat people. Obesity is a disease. How? Like, I want to see the fucking obesity rates in these third world countries that don't have shit.
Where's their obesity disease? They need that disease.
Where is it? I'm like, I'm pretty sure these kids who are fucking hungry, when they actually get a supply of food, should go ham, right? But they don't. You know what I mean? Like, but it's here that it's like, obesity, and it's a disease. I can't stop eating.
An epidemic.
Like, you would stop eating if you had no food. Very simple. It's very simple. It's like, no, you're just a dick. And you can't fucking just say no to yourself. So you just you make an excuse for your issue. I can't control it. Every time I see food, it just like, it's bullshit. If you were starving, that's a true disease to me. If your ass is starving and you still find a way to eat something that you probably shouldn't even be eating, which is like fucking, I don't know.
Like dumpster food?
Exactly. If you fucking crawl in dumpsters and shit to get food, damn it, this person has a problem. All right, they need to be, they need some medical attention.
Yeah.
All right. But if your thing is like, every time I see these cookies in my cupboard, I just gotta eat them. It's like, then stop buying the fucking cookies. It's so simple. Like,
yeah, I used to do that with Oreos and shit. I was just like, I can't, because if they're in my cupboard, I'm fucking going after them no matter what.
And you know what? I don't judge them. I don't blame them. I don't care. Like, first of all, not in a bad way, but it's like I've seen what you've done diet-wise and things like that. So for me, as a normal human, right? Because I do this, like, we do similar shit. It's just different because our bodies are different, right? It's like, you eating some Oreos won't make me go like, man, Mark, you're off your diet.
Yeah.
I'll be like, fucking go eat the Oreos, man. I know you ain't ate shit like all week or some bullshit like that, right? Like, I don't care, dude. Like, it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna make you, I can't stop eating, or I have diabetes now. Like,
yeah, if it gets to that point, then it's just like, shut up, Mark.
yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like I said, so many people just rely on this whole bullshit of, like, they need an excuse.
They survive off the fishing of like no, come on, no, you're fine, no, I have that Oreo, you deserve it, you worked hard this week.
Nope.
I will say, just to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt to a small percentage of people, and I equivalent this to the thyroid shit. There is I want to say it's like 2% of the world's population. Keep in mind we have like over 7 billion people, so 2% of that actually have something wrong with their thyroid, so they can't lose weight.
Right.
Because of that shit, right? So that right there, that is completely not their fault. That's just something right there.
I get overactive thyroid glands and pituitary glands.
Right.
And all that shit.
So
Like,
so
again, that falls under the whole category of like
true disease.
Yeah, you couldn't foresee it happening and you couldn't control it.
But then with that too, there is a small portion of people also that can't do stuff recreationally. Like once they do it one time, they're automatically addicted. And it's something in their brain. I can't remember what. I was watching something with Russell Brand because he said he like saw this shit, and it's like you do it one time, like weed. Like weed's not addictive, right? Nothing in weed is addictive at all. It's just personality that keeps you doing it. So if this small percentage of people that are automatically addicted, like they're addicts, actual fucking addicts, do weed, they won't be able to stop because something in their brain gets over fucking stimulated once they do this shit, and it just keeps going, and they truly can't control it.
Right. I feel like some people...
But again, very, very small percentage of people, so like it can't be everyone. Like if you think you're that person, probably not.
Right. I feel like a lot of, especially I want someone to do like a study on this shit. I feel like a lot of us deal with OCD, and it's in way different forms. But like a lot of our generation deals with OCD, and it's just different, right? Like, I remember like during the time when Eminem was dropping Relapse and he was coming back from all the drugs and stuff. He would do interviews and they would ask him like, like, well, like how, like what do you, like what is it now? Like what keeps you going and everything like that? And he was like, I found out that I have like an addictive personality, and it's like anything that I do and I like, I'll end up just keep doing it. And at a point, he was saying that, after he got off the drugs to drop all the weight and shit, he started to run, and then he was like OCD would kick in, and he was like he would always have to run. And it was crazy because I saw like an interview where it was like in I think it was in his studio in Detroit. And he had fucking treadmills everywhere. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, and he was just like, yeah, like, I have to run now. He was like 5-6 miles a day and everything. This is in between recording sessions. He's fucking run for what?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the type of shit that I understand because, like I said, I feel like all of us suffer from it a little bit, right? And there's certain things that it's like, I just can't stop. Or once I get on something that I find intriguing, I'm gonna keep just going. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. I think I mentioned on this podcast. Like I'm like that with a lot of things, especially when it comes to finances. Once I like unpeel like a layer of some shit or whatever, I'm gonna continue to just like fucking over obsess about it and continue to just research it and read it. Same thing with working out. Same exact thing. I'll fall asleep to like workout playlists or like workout videos, and I'm like, I won't even listen to them. Like I'll just be like, my eyes will be closed. I'll just hear like, yeah, you do like these sets and these reps on. Like in my mind, I'm like, that's bullshit. As I'm going to sleep or anything like that, or sometimes I'm like, oh, intriguing. I must remember this and everything like that. Like, and it's weird. I don't know, but
yeah. So it's just people that if they're addicted to one substance, once they replace it to something quote unquote healthier.
Right.
That also becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
They just have to do it.
Yeah.
Again, small percentage of fucking people.
Yep.
Like not everyone does that shit. I would say like a small form of that shit, and not like dangerous or whatever. Remember we were talking about like even if we started with like a bad TV show, we would have to finish the season. Yeah. Even if we were like, man, this show's like bullshit. And
yeah, because for some reason you're invested.
Yeah, you're just like, I just got to see the end of it. I can't like leave it open ended and just not know what happens. But
yeah, I'm gonna be the bad guy here. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't see how you can charge him or like I don't know if they're gonna try to like charge him with.
I just think that's the story, honestly. Like that's that little like news. Oh, Mac Miller's back in the news. We could write about him. You know, it'll trend. It'll fucking go, and we'll get all this like ad money from it.
Right.
I really think that's a story because I really think that's just a small part of the guy's case. Because if you're fucking manufacturing fake counterfeit drugs with fentanyl, you probably have a lot worse, like way worse charges than just like possible overdose of Mac Miller.
Do you really?
It's just the soundbite, you know.
Do you? No, because like I'm thinking about this on like a very small level here. Mm-hmm. I'm like, because the wording makes it look like, this dude was like,
That's what I mean. Like, it's like that's the story they ran with instead of going like local Hollywood blah 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 found counterfeiting drugs blah blah. If that was just a story, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Another person like making drugs or counterfeiting drugs, whatever.
But
Oh, this guy was responsible. He was the one supplying Mac Miller, right there, big letters. Mac Miller overdose. This guy caused it.
but see,
That's the story.
my issue with the article and the way it's like, my issue with all this shit is a drug isn't counterfeit if it's just two drugs mixed together. It's two drugs mixed together. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, so the definition. I think the definition of counterfeit for them is just like basically not made by a pharmaceutical company.
right, which is, again, that's the whole thing that I get mad about, because I'm like, one, duh, nigga, like, yeah, like I'm pretty sure this wouldn't be reported if fucking Big Pharma was the people who killed Mac Miller, and like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so
Hell
like,
no, it wouldn't be reported.
that's something like the wording is bullshit, because it's like counterfeiting, which it makes it sound like this dude had like a chemical lab in his basement and he was like, I'm gonna make oxycodone. No, all right. Fucking, he mixed two things, which is the same thing that niggas used to do with fucking mixing weed and coke. It's the same shit people do when they make meth, which you can make in your kitchen if you want to. Like, don't do it. Like, it's just bullshit. And the way it was just like this whole thing, again, it's people are trying to make a narrative because they don't want to deal with the fact that someone had an issue.
Yeah.
That's it. It sucks to hear. But would you rather want the truth, or would you rather just continue? If like I said, I don't know who's behind this. I don't know if it's his family or anything like that. But would you really want to walk around hearing some bullshit, knowing that you know what it was? Because no matter what, this kid going to jail for possibly the rest of his life, if they do try to charge him with some shit like that, ain't gonna bring him back. It's not gonna stop what's going on, because it's not stopping what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, to me, what is the real purpose of doing some shit like that? Like, what's the purpose of making this thing the poster child for, like, because I feel like this is all like a political thing where it's like, okay, we know that we have a war on, which is not even a fucking war. Because like the Chappelle thing, it's white people, and all of a sudden it's a war on fucking opioids and all this shit, which is, it's only white people. I can't find one nigga who's died from fucking like oxycodone. I can't find one. Like, but it's an epidemic when white people start dying.
Yeah. What would he say? He was like, I feel the same way. I don't care.
Yeah,
I feel the same way they did back
sucks,
then.
but I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, I really don't. And it, like I said, it's fucked up because I'm saying it regarding Mac Miller. But
I saw this thing. It was on a Patriot Act hosted by Hassan Minaj. I'm pretty sure I'm saying the name right. He was saying, like, back when like these like the new fentanyl, like the actual fentanyl pill or whatever, like that was prescribed by doctors and shit like that. It was only meant to be used by like cancer patients, but like the worst form of cancer patient where like nothing would help, like morphine wouldn't help the pain, whatever like that. You would prescribe them this. It'd be like them and one other group. That was supposed to be it. But then these doctors would like prescribe for like people like, oh, I feel like a little sore here, and they would just prescribe it.
yeah.
So it was really just like whoever was pushing, like it was basically the pharmaceutical companies pushing this to be like prescribe this for everything.
Yeah, because
Causes all this shit. Again, I don't feel bad because it's like you should have known. You should have done some research before just putting some pills in your body. Like not just trusting your doctor. I get trusting your doctor to a certain extent, but like maybe look up the shit that you're ingesting pill wise. Anyways, what was my point? What was the Mac Miller show? Oh yeah, with the whole Mac Miller thing. Looking at it from a fucked up perspective, the only reason people care is because he died while he was still popular.
Yeah.
So if he had faded out into obscurity, no one would have fucking cared.
Yeah, 100%.
No one would have cared. So right now, because he was so popular, nobody wants to blame him for his own addiction.
Right.
So it's a lot easier for people to cope with, and like, man, it was this guy's fault. If this guy wasn't around selling them shit, Mac Miller would still be alive. No, motherfucker, he would just find another dealer.
And he still would have died.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's just, and like, I don't know if you know about the Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs who died. His toxicology report came back, and it was like, I think the same mix of drugs, oxycodone, fentanyl. And then they were like accidental overdose. But then, of course, again, now he had a family, he had a mother and a father who loved him and everything like that. I'm not gonna throw any dirt on his name or anything like that. But however, everyone's saying like, it's just how like there's no way he could have been using drugs and everything like that. It's like you don't know what these niggas do 24/7. You really don't.
I get the accidental overdose thing because with fentanyl, if it's not. Because penny size drop will take down an elephant, dosing. Right? So if they don't if whoever's making the pills isn't doing like the fucking exact science to it,
right?
An accidental overdose will happen because you take one pill, you're fine, but you take the other pill that has more fentanyl in it,
right,
than you thought, and then you just fucking die. I get that, but still,
right? Because my whole thing is still at the end of the day, why are you taking it?
If you're not those cancer patients that absolutely fucking need it, like they have no other choice, then why are you taking it?
Because what you never see from these overdoses or things like that, you never hear like, oh, they were prescribed this by their doctor because of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they accidentally you never hear that. You always hear like it was an accidental overdose. You never hear the reason why.
Right.
Which to me means okay, they were using it for recreational use.
Right. They weren't trying to kill themselves. So
no,
let's say that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But they were using it for recreational use, and then they fucked up.
Yeah.
Period. The end. And that's just what happens, and that's why I look at this shit from a jaded perspective, because it's like you people want me to care about this, but when it came to crack and everything in the 80s and the 90s and shit like that, you specifically said that shit was an epidemic, but it was a war on drugs, which meant fuck trying to help people. We have to throw all these people in jail for doing this. But there was no freaking
health crisis.
No, there was no
get to the root of it.
Get clean, and there's none of that. No one cared. Crack, ruined, damn near ruined so many minority communities. And still, we haven't seen a gradual. I would say we haven't seen anything sustained since crack. You know what I mean? There
was this story that I heard through it was heard from a friend of a friend of a friend. So I don't know how true this is, but they were like I was working out in Texas in a very KKK kind of neighborhood, right? So white power. They weren't afraid to ride around in their KKK suits and shit like that.
Right.
This person befriended the guy. The guy I think was Asian, and the guy was just like, "Man, I see you working hard every day. You're not like all these other, immigrants, blah blah blah. It's a bunch of racist rant. It's like you actually work hard and crap like that." They get drunk together. He starts spilling secrets. The white guy starts spilling secrets, saying stuff like,
"I'm gonna fuck you, buddy. I wanna fuck you."
I hate y'all because I really love y'all deep down inside, and I can't admit it to myself and my people.
I want to penetrate your ass so bad.
I heard Asian booty holes tight. Is it true?
Oh, tight as hell, and it doesn't stink either. That's my favorite. Billy Bob's ass stinks when I penetrate.
Constant diarrhea.
Constant.
He started saying something back he was in the army or something like that, some kind of black ops mission. He would go to these areas like Colombia, shit like that. He would get cocaine, crack cocaine. He would come back and ship it under the fucking radar and bring it back to the States, and then him or whoever his team was, they would flood the urban communities, the minority communities with this shit. And that's how shit got into our communities, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's just to hear that, to be it's always a conspiracy theory, oh, the CIA did this, which CIA did, or they did all this, the government did all this and crap like that, and flooded our stuff. It's kind of true. If you want to believe that guy's story, then he's I did that shit. All the shit that they're saying, I did that. I was part of those teams.
Yeah, the initial influx of crack and everything like that would be that. Afterwards, of course, then you have,
right.
Niggas get plugs, the Colombians,
of course.
You figure out how to do it, and then, it's off to the races.
Of course, because once you start making money doing something, you fucking find a way to keep making money off of it. You don't need that middleman anymore.
Nope, not at all.
So.
But, yeah, it's just the way, and then I feel even people today, like I feel like people choose their relationships based off of like their interactions with people. And by that I mean I feel like niggas will choose a girl based off how she's gonna be perceived in the
Oh,
group of niggas.
yeah.
And that's
That's
like
awful.
that's the dumbest thing ever. But girls
God.
do the same thing. Girls, they'll choose a dude based off how they're gonna be perceived in the group full of girls, and that's
Right.
so dumb.
Oh, is my
Like,
family gonna like him? Is my blah blah blah? I'm like, doesn't matter, man.
are
Like
we
your
gonna be
family's not.
popping on
Yeah,
Instagram?
it's like, is your family gonna marry this person? Is your family gonna have to deal with this person every day? Like, who gives a shit? Do you like the person?
And this just goes back to like a lot of I used to always growing up here people say like, oh, money is the root of all evil, money is the root of all evil. And then it wasn't until I got older and out where I was just like, no, people are the root of all evil, because people fuck up everything. They fuck up everything that doesn't even have bad intentions. All right,
Right.
they will fuck it up and find a way to piss on it, and they will end up making it something bad. And going back to that relationship thing real quick. I remember that I had a friend who we were coworkers, and he had this girl that he had been going out with since like high school or whatever, right? And they were to me they were like the prototypical high school sweethearts. Like she would come in and like bring them lunch like for work, or just
Aw.
like regular shit, right? But this dude just could not stop cheating on this girl, right? Couldn't stop doing it, right?
It's a disease.
It's a disease. I can't stop fucking these bitches. You don't understand. They won't leave me alone. They keep calling me,
They keep flashing the pussy.
and I gotta do something about it. But so one day we're going out. We were doing something, and I'm in his car, and we start talking about it. And then I feel like I was the only person that ever asked him like, why are you doing this, right? Because me being new there at the time, I was like, I see this girl, she comes in, she works, she clearly gives a shit about you, but like, why do you treat her this way? Like,
Again, this is an example of why we're weirdos at our place. Because
Yes.
most people would just be like, yeah, fuck that bitch. Tell me stories about
Yeah, I
that
don't
bitch.
care,
Fuck, blah,
nigga.
blah. No, we go like, why do you do this?
Why do
I
you
need
do
to
this?
figure out like your thinking behind this.
Yeah, that's one thing that I feel like people don't want to do is we get a kick out of, like, I love figuring out what makes people tick.
Yeah.
And not in like that way where it's like, oh, I can use it against you. But for me, I feel like it'll make me understand you more than me being like, oh, it's because they do this and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Because then once we understand like why this person does that, then we somewhat have an understanding of why people do
what they do,
Yeah.
right? So I asked him, and he was like, he has. I feel like he has suspected it, or no, I don't know. Like, I'll just say that he had indications that his girl had cheated on him way, way back in the past or everything like that. But it was all based off like
Makes my actions true.
it was all based off like Instagram and shit, whatever. So there was no real proof to it, right?
Right.
So he felt like, you know what, like, yeah, I love her, she cool and all, but I don't really give a fuck, because this already happened to me.
Break up, man. What the fuck?
So my logic to it all was like, okay, so why are you still with this person if you clearly you don't trust him?
Because I get free lunches.
Like, that's why I have to do this.
I get free lunch every day brought to me at work.
Right?
You gonna
So
give that up?
I'm gonna give two examples to this because his like best friend there did something too that was also like, huh. But so I remember there was this girl who worked out at this gym, and she would always come anytime we were together and everything like that. We'd be talking or working out together. She would come and just linger, and then they would talk a little bit and everything like that. She was like, it was clear she was trying to like get at that dude or whatever, right? And for me, I was like, man, the whole thought process of you, like, your girl comes here. Like, the staff knows your girl. A lot of the people who lived here know your girl, right? For you to still be so, like, free with this chick, knowing that I'm pretty sure she knows And the rest of these girls that we talk to and interact with, they know. For you to do that, to me, that's some sicko shit, right?
Yeah, unless it's talked about beforehand, like open relationship shit.
Right.
That's some sick shit.
Which this wasn't. So like this some sicko shit, right? So I didn't understand the logic, but it dawned on me because our boss was like this dude who was like, if this dude could have been like his little brother, pretty much the guy I'm talking about, because he looked at our boss and I feel like there was like so much like. It was like his idol, but it was like the worst idol you could have because this dude was like miserable. He had like a baby mama. He had baby mama issues. A girl he was like fucking dating at the time that I got there was like giving giving him all kind of problems, right?
Right.
And he would like literally. It was funny because all the girls that would talk to me, they would shit on the boss, right? And he's like I said, on the outside, he's this big dude. He's all jacked and stuff. But they would shit on him. They'll be like, no. I remember when he had broke up with his girlfriend. He was under the table crying. And then when he wanted to see it, I'm like, holy fuck, right? They're just like shitting on this dude, right?
Save that shit for home.
Yeah, bitch. They're just shit on this dude, right? And but I looked at it and I was like, man, the other dude just can't see it. And then when I brought, to the girl, I brought up like, what's the deal with so-and-so? And they were like, see, he's a big softie. It's just that he gets influenced by him. So then he tries to like be him. And they were like, it sucks and everything like that. And I found it crazy how I'm like, people at their core can see
but they'll
good and bad, but they'll still make excuses
so
for this
is
shit.
the fucking small scale of the Mac Miller stuff.
Exactly. Like it goes right back to my point of the other dude's doing the same shit that this dude's doing, but because they don't like this dude, it's like, no, fuck him, fuck all benefit of the doubt. We don't care what he's going through, who gives a shit, right? But this dude, they're like, nah, like he's a good dude. It's just that like it's this and this. And I'm like, you see him cheat on his girl openly.
But he's still a good dude.
Like he's fucked half the staff. But he's still a good dude? How, right? Fast forward, now this is gonna be the girl flip side to this, right? His friend, we had went out one time, and there was this chick who she was a very pretty girl, but she was working at this massage parlor.
Nice.
But she was just a receptionist, right? So we're outside, and one day we run into her, and we're talking and everything. And the guy that I'm with, he talks to her, but he's completely like blowing her off, right? But it's not like, but she wasn't giving it any like rhythm either. So it's like basically like just a regular conversation, right? So whatever they exchanged numbers, because it was a business transaction. It wasn't anything like, oh yeah, I'll talk to you later, everything like that. They exchanged numbers for business, and then we go from there. So then we get back. I mean, the next day I come in, and then he comes up to me. He's like, yo. I'm like, what's up? And then he was like, remember that girl from last night? I'm like, yeah. He's
she
like,
gave me a massage.
Now he was like, I fucked her. And I was like, huh?
She doesn't know, so don't tell her.
Like, she was asleep throughout the whole situation. And then I was like, huh? And then he was like, yeah, she had hit me up that night and was like, oh, you remember me? And I was like, who is this? And everything like that. And then she told me, and then she was like, oh, like, you want to get something to eat right now? He was like, yeah, I'll come pick you up. And then he was like, that shit just happened there. And I was like, that was like a 10-minute conversation. It wasn't even like intimate or anything like that. He was like, shit, I don't know. I didn't get it either, right? So fast forward later in the day, the girl comes in the, mind you, this is a gym I'm talking about. I used to work at a gym, so this is why all these situations are just happening, right? Because for some reason, girls in gyms and guys in gyms is like fucking anarchy. So there's a lot of fucking and like bullshit going on, so whatever. So she comes in and she is 100% like embarrassed to be in this place, right? I walk in from where I was and I see her and she's like, oh hi, and I'm like, hey. She has her hat down. She's like looking all around, like anxious and nervous, like I don't want anyone to see me, right? However, she's talking to the dude that she just had sex with, who's the homie that I know. So I walk past him, I dap him up, and he like turns and kind of gives me like this little sheepish grin, like, yeah, nigga, she here, right? So the whole time thinking about that, I'm like observing this shit, and I'm like, first of all, why did you give him pussy if you didn't want to be here? Second of all, why are you now embarrassed?
Yeah.
Like it's already happened. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
And now he's getting you to sign up for this fucking membership. Like you've already lost. I'm like, there's nothing I can do for you now. Like you're just, you know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
but
Because
again,
if she would have walked in there proud and like not embarrassed, would have been like, cool, she got fucking hers.
right? But it to me it was so odd because I was like, you knew what you were doing, but you're still just absolutely like disgusted with yourself. But you're still going through with it.
Right.
You could have fucked him and not called him.
Right.
That'd been fine. Like, and everything, right? So it goes back to, for me, I'm like, people fuck up everything because I feel like anything that you're, like, any logical thing that a person's supposed to do, they do the opposite.
Right.
Always.
Well, with that, I think it's fucking classic. Like, I want to do this thing that I want to do, but I don't want to deal with any of the consequences. It's like, no, that's not like it's like the checks and balances thing. It's
again,
fucking,
it's not logical.
it's not logical. It's just fucking like if you want to do this thing that you really want to do, and regardless of the consequences, fucking be prepared to deal with them afterwards.
I feel like this is why people think we're kind of off, is because we go into situations knowing that this won't end well.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna happen because it's gotta happen.
Yep.
Like, and
I think it's because we don't complain about, like, we don't confide in, like, just I won't say strangers, but, like, office folk.
right.
We don't confide in them, like, oh, we did this, and I feel bad, and I don't want to deal with this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm complain. And, like, saying, no, we just stay quiet. We deal with that shit in silence. Talk about it with the people that actually fucking care.
Right.
And then we work out a solution for ourselves.
Exactly, because I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it either. I'm just saying that's how we do
probably
it.
therapy is probably the best way.
100%. We need help, but for some reason, it's just that we've never been the people to, like, you know, share all these, like, oh, I can't believe whatever. But like I said last week, for some reason, we're like everyone's best friend.
Yeah.
And it's very odd because it's like, to me, you know what it is? I don't think we're their best friend. I think what it is I think we play their conscience. So that's why they confide to us so much, because it's that voice in their head that tells them not to do this shit.
Right.
And then it's just us.
Yeah.
It's being like, hey, maybe you should whatever. And
Right. It's the thing, but we don't judge people. We're just like, hey, maybe not, you know?
Yeah, like, because I've played that role for so many niggas. And it's so funny because I've always played the role, and it's because it's me at my core. It's like, you can do this, but don't care. Like I told a coworker one time when he was like openly thinking about leaving his girl for someone who was completely super young. I had told him flat out. I was like, hey, you already cheated on her, right? But you shouldn't leave your girl. However, if I were you, like, I'd keep fucking her up until, because him and his girl were on a break, mind you. I was like, I'll keep fucking her up until the point that you want your girl back. Then, you know what I'm saying, just end it. And he was like, yeah, that makes sense and everything like that. And he pretty much did that, right? However, my whole thing was like, why did you need me for confirmation of something that you already knew what you had to do? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you should have just done it. Like, there's...
You know what it is, too? I think people want that.
He was older than me at the time, mind you.
People want that so that if something does go bad, you'd be like, man, fuck Dwayne, man. He tell me that shit, and, like, I should have done something different, and, damn, it's just Dwayne's fault.
Again, going back to the first thing we talked about, an excuse. That's a bitch way of thinking. Because in the realest moments, you don't get an excuse. Like, when you die, there's no excuse. You're dead. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know what happens when, like, me and him, like, if I'm telling him, like, something I'm dealing with, you know, and the thing, it's always this thing of, like, again, he tells me, like, maybe you should do this. Like, if I were you, I'd do this. Most of the time, that's the correct answer. Say, like, 95% of the time. And when I end up doing what the fuck I want to do anyways, maybe a couple weeks later, I start talking about him again. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's how I go, like, yeah, I know. Like, I should have fucking listened to you. But most people aren't going to fucking have that.
No.
Kind of response to that. It's going to be like, I'm going to blame Dwayne because he didn't force me into making the right decision. So many times I've been like, yeah, I know, but I had to find out.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even, because at first, when you first hear, you get that whole satisfaction, like, oh, nigga, I told you.
Yeah.
Shit was going to happen. And now it's just like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, well, it happened, and, like, you're still cool, so whatever. Like, and because that's all we want. It's like, we don't want this whole feeling of like, oh, yes, tell us that we're awesome. It's like, no. Just now that you know that
they was the wrong decision. Now, hopefully, when this happens again in the future, you just don't do it again.
Right.
That's
'Cause
it.
if we're giving you this advice, it truly means we want you to fucking succeed. We don't want to see you fail.
Right.
Because we see you as some sort of friend or something like that.
Right.
Right. So we don't want you to have all of a sudden your life be super fucked up and now we can't talk.
Right.
Because I don't want to deal with your shit because that's all your life's gonna be now, dealing with that shit, and I'm okay with that. Like peace out.
Yeah.
So it's I would say listen to us because we're geniuses and all that.
Of course.
But,
Off top. Yeah, for me, I've always been I don't like to see people fall. If I can help, I'm going to help. However, that doesn't mean that I'm always going to help. Right?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna sacrifice my
shit
to
for
help you.
Yeah, that's stupid. Unless you're like the bros or like my family, then yeah. But it's like I'm not gonna sacrifice my shit because you decided to do something stupid and now you want me to roll the dice for no fuck you.
Because you wanted to cheat on your girl and no one found out. Like, oh, that's your
I'm
issue.
not into that, right? So at the end of the day, the moral of this podcast is people fuck everything up. However, you can be the variable in your life and you can choose to just simply take responsibility for your actions and hold people accountable for their shit, and you'll be okay. I think you'll be pretty you'll have a pretty decent life, right? But if you choose to enable people and you choose to let yourself be enabled, right? Which is something's fucked up, but you let someone be like, oh man, fuck it, just do it. It doesn't matter. She won't know or he won't know or everything like that. Now, when the fucking shit hits the fan and they find out or something happens where it goes bad, I don't want to hear it. Your ass better not cry. That's the one thing that we fucking do. If we do some dumb shit afterwards, right? You're not going to hear me cry about it. He won't cry about it. We're not going to cry about it because it happened already. That's all you can do.
Again, no crying.
Don't fucking cry to me. Right? But you guys don't know me about crying. I'm like, don't woe is me.
Yeah, it's not literally like tears coming down your face.
Yeah, no, don't fucking woe is me.
Don't try to make this feel sorry for me crap. It's like, no, you fucking made your bed.
Yeah, fucking just walk through it. That's it. That's what you got to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like for people who are solid in life, and if they do make a mistake and everything like that, or make mistakes, if you are solid in life and you have accountability for your actions, 9 times out of 10, at least I figured out in my lifetime, 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to happen to you. However, you're going to know not to do this shit again, or you're going to realize that you learn from the situation and you're smarter from it and you grow from it. But if you choose to fucking disrespect the lessons that you, learned, throughout your time on this earth, it's going to happen again. But this time, there won't be a saving grace. There won't be a fucking light at the end of the tunnel. There won't be a fucking oh, we're going to pull you out here. Nope, you're probably just going to lose and it's going to suck.
Yeah.
And it's not going to feel good.
I don't remember the complete saying, but it was something like smart people learn from their mistakes, but geniuses learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
So take that for what it is. Maybe apply a little bit of what we're talking about to your life to see if your life improves at all, as far as just not dealing with drama. Right. And really being able to focus on yourself and improving whatever you want to improve about yourself that you've been holding off because of XYZ.
Right.
Shit like that. And if you're one of those people we talked about in the beginning of the podcast where work is a break from your life, start making a change, because that's very sad. It's sad in a sense of I don't want anyone to have that life. Right. Because that's I couldn't imagine that.
Right.
I just feel very bad.
It's it sounds shitty. But yeah, I guess to wrap it all up, at the end of the day, just
be responsible for yourself.
Yeah, be the person that you see yourself as. Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent. All right? If you be that person, whatever outcomes that you get from your life, I feel like you'll be able to deal with them better than if you're trying to be something that you're not, or trying to let people tell you what they feel like you should do or what you should be, everything like that. No, just, good, bad, or indifferent. Be the person that you want to be. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yeah, for real. Because, again, it's your fucking life, not theirs.
Right. Oh, that's pretty good. We had no topic and spun that shit. That was nice. All right. Hit it with the
All came
plugs.
from a place of hate
All
inside,
came
deep
from
down.
a place
in
of
the
hate
heart.
and sickness.
You can find us on youtube.com/how do I know you. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at HDIKY1. You could follow and subscribe everywhere you can find podcasts.
Yeah.
Search How Do I Know You. Search hashtag HDIKY will come up. You'll see our beautiful fucking faces just everywhere. And my personal one at Mr. Lucky005, Instagram and Twitter.
Definitely continue to subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that cool stuff. We love you guys. My personal Twitter is at DCJunior13, and my Instagram is DCJuniorBFSB. Northside Summer still out. Go stream it. Other than that, if I don't know and you don't know,
Who really knows?
and how do I know you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on the YouTube. Please subscribe there as well. Let us know what you guys want to hear topic-wise. Maybe we can break something down.
We start doing that, asking you guys for topics.
You can definitely start doing that.
Yeah.
See what happens. Other than that, let's go.